It's time right now for Mainstreet Magazine on Robin Hood Radio with Thorin Christendauer. Thorin joins us just about every week, and we take a look and talk a little bit about the stories that you'll find in the various editions of Mainstreet Magazine available at your favorite locations to pick up, and also a online version at mainstreetmag.com. Good morning, Thorin.
Good morning. Nice to be here.
Nice to have you with us. Well, we're at that time of the month. It's the end of July. So
It is, and we should be getting our August issue any day now.
All right, so let's talk. I don't have, of course, it's as much a secret to me as it is to you out there, folks. Just let's headline some of the things, first of all, that people will find in the August edition of Mainstreet Mag.
As you know, sometimes we have themes, and in August we didn't have any particular theme, so the stories are actually kind of all over the place. For example, Christine is looking at, as we all know, the real estate market is going bananas right now. So Christine had a interesting experience with she's a realtor herself as well as owns some properties. So she's, well versed in the real estate world. So she had an interesting experience with an inspector some months ago. And so that sparked an idea for her to do a story, if the real estate, focus it on inspections and what to look for. What inspectors look for and what you as a buyer or seller should also look for. So the kind of pluses and minuses of that. So it's even if you're not looking, it still makes you, kind of look around your own house and to kind of check things out.
It's interesting because on my way into work 4 months ago, there were no for sale signs. And about 2 months ago, they started popping up at least 6. And out of those 6 for sale signs on my little ride into work from Salisbury into Sharon, there was only 1 sign left for sale. Everything else has been sold that was up. It's amazing.
So instead you saw the pending and the sold signs, right?
Yeah. There were the for sale, then there were the pending, and then sold signs. And there's only 1 property that still is not sold.
Yeah, it's remarkable.
It really it's an amazing real estate market, and if you hit it just right, and how I know even better is a family member lost their husband. Okay, and she finally decided, okay, you know what? They had a house on the ocean in Florida, beautiful big house in Westchester County. And she decided to actually divest of all those, get those things off her plate, and it was a perfect time for people coming out of the city to see this beautiful house in Westchester that sold right away,
Yes.
and the beautiful condo on the beach in Florida sold right away, even though Florida's having those problems, it still sold right away. People just want to find some place to escape to.
They do, and try to, feel some sort of, safety, more than you do when you're in the city of millions of people.
It's trying to get away from the more hectic lifestyle, even though it's hectic out here. But that is one angle that you can look at definitely for your August edition. What else might be in the August edition?
Well, since it's still August and still hot, Jessie gave us another recipe for an ice cream, this time an ice cream bar. She calls them dilly bars. So they're chocolate. And I think she had peanuts in there. So it's honestly so simple that I think that I could even make it. But the picture looks delicious of them. So I think, for some folks, if they want to make some ice cream bars for their, socially distant small get together or for family, I think that's a terrific recipe for them.
Summertime is definitely, August is definitely a time for ice cream, and especially now everybody has something in their house that can make ice cream nowadays. It's not it's not like you have to even get an ice cream maker
or churn it or anything. No,
I know, it's amazing. And if you can churn something quick enough and long enough, and keep it cold enough, you can make ice cream.
Pretty much.
So technology has taken over on that aspect. Now, do you deal into the dog days, or do you let that just hang out there?
We didn't so much this year. Obviously, unfortunately, as we, the pandemic still going on in many ways, or has affected, both people, businesses, and situations. So, that does touch on a number of our stories for the month of August. And but as I've said to you before, we try to find the perseverance stories and the pivoting stories. And, for example, Griffin this month brings us the young Stephanopouloses of the Amenia Drive-In, and how they they've always been very proud of the fact that they're the first drive-in to open and they're the last one to close. So they had actually just opened up, I guess, in March there, and had to shut down. And so Griffin was able to, get kind of the story of how they actually started the drive-in there, and then how this pandemic has changed their business model and just how their interaction and how everything has changed for them. But how they've been able to pivot and fill a void, because obviously, like, the movie house in Millerton is closed, and in Great Barrington and Hudson, but we're still able to go to the drive-in, which is, that's so wonderful. So, for everyone in our community, and they were saying, the Stephanopoulos, is that people are just coming, and it's full, and people were waiting to go to the drive-in in April and May, because they want to go outside, they wanted some sort of normalcy.
Yeah, and that's a big part of it. I mean, like we said, the Stephanopoulos already have their drive-in in Amenia, which what they've done with in the past 3 years is absolutely amazing.
Yes.
And it really has become they say every town needs a destination,
Yes.
a destination down. Well, Amenia has that now with the drive-in. That's absolutely amazing. I mean, the other destination, of course, happens to be Silo Ridge, but that's a separate part. That's not even really part of town, because that's a self-contained entity. But really, who would have thought 4 years ago that where Four Brothers is, when they started that drive-in, that would really become a main driving factor, almost like the rail trail is in Millerton.
Oh, exactly. And nowadays, you talk to anyone, they're like, "Oh, the Amenia Drive-In."
Yeah, it really is amazing, and you got to give credit to people that are willing to invest in the communities that they have businesses in. I mean, they had successful restaurants as it was. They purchased other restaurants in the community to keep them open and to keep them going, and they started, of course, the movie theater. It really is amazing. And you look at like the Stephanopoulos, and you look like at Eddie Meza, where he brought the Sharon Country Inn and made it beautiful. He's got his Meza Pizza, and now he even redid State Line Car Wash.
Exactly.
That's what people have to realize, what businesses bring to this community. Yes, they bring products for you to buy and to use, but they also reinvigorate the community by taking buildings that are no longer being used and reusing them and opening them up again.
They do, and it's a spiral effect, because they also then there's tax dollars that come into the town and the school district, and they are also whether it's a product or service that they're bringing to that location, and then there are people that they attract, and those people, like we always say at the Millerton Business Alliance, if someone's coming in for the rail trail, what are the chances that they stop at the diner for a sandwich, or they go get a cup of coffee, or buy a book at the bookstore? So, or even if they just go and browse, maybe they make a trip with family or friends next time to come to town because of store or this business. So it's a much greater, as they call it, the spiral effect. And so, all of our local businesses are just amazing in that fashion. And, we always have to remember, this is why we have to try to support local and shop local. It's because these businesses mean so much more.
And that's why the movie house is so important to Millerton. The movie house really is the main thing that generated the rebirth of Millerton. And really, we want the movie house to open up as soon as possible, because that makes Millerton a destination. Yes, it does have the rail trail now, which is a big destination, and it was also give the Northeast Historical Society credit with moving the old schoolhouse to along the rail trail as well, right there. I mean, and it shows how you can invest in your community to bring people into your community and visit.
I mean, if we look at Millerton, like so many of the small towns in our area, that there are a number of things that make it unique and are a draw for different types of people. We have the rail trail, and now the little schoolhouse, and everything that Ralph Fideli and his group organization do for the schoolhouse, and as a visitor center and information center about not just Millerton but the region. And as you say, the movie house, of course, is pivotal. and has been. And now, there was a big void, and it was people were had different opinions when Saperstein's was sold and then changed. But I don't know if some people and your listeners know, but it's opened again, and there's a new business there, new building owner, and she's looking to put Saperstein's back on the building. So there are many things happening in our towns and regions that we may not see right away, but this is the reason why it's great to be connected to a community and try to support as much as we can in whatever way we can.
And it's true, and I think that's one thing that a magazine like yours, Mainstreet Magazine, does, is not only it brings newsy-ish types of stories, definitely, and interviews with area people, but it also brings people together to know what in the community and how they can get out and enjoy the community. There's a lot of hidden gems that aren't hidden when you can put them in Mainstreet Magazine.
Well, we try, and we always try to put a positive spin on it, but nowadays it seems like post-pandemic that our hidden gems are less hidden. And you just look at our state parks around here where you see signs of filled to capacity nowadays. It's a different time for sure.
Absolutely. Well, once again, mainstreetmag.com, but also, and what's the date? The August issue will hit the newsstands where people can pick it up for free around our region.
I am waiting to hear today from my printer, but I believe it should probably be coming in the next day or two. And so our delivery people should have them out by the weekend everywhere. It takes them a few days to get them out, but just watch for your location that you pick them up, or you can always check us out online too. All
right, Thorne, we'll check in with you next week, and we'll talk a little bit more about the issue that's coming out.
Sounds good, Marshall.
Take care.
You too, bye.
That is Mainstreet Magazine on Robin Hood Radio. Of course, you can find Mainstreet Magazine on the web, mainstreetmag.com.